Captain Insano shows no mercy. No mercy. No mercy. No mercy. No mercy.
Straight cash, homie.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the All Day Football Show. I'm Ivan Vargas, Marco Velasquez, and Luke Nettles right next to me, guys. End of the first game. Sorry we couldn't get to you at halftime. There's a lot of work being done. Everybody's getting ready for the big Bears game tonight over here at Output. 1758 West Grand is where we're at today. And, you know, it was a fun first set of games. A couple of surprises, you know, and our boy here, and I know a tough one on the chin, Marco, with your Titans, man. I don't know. We're going to start with them, the Cardinals versus the Titans. Dude, what happened? Where was the defense?
It was non-existent today's game. But you know what? Give that Arizona defense credit, man. Chandler Jones, 5 sacks.
Wow. 5 sacks.
5 sacks.
5 sacks on the day.
Kyler Murray came and balled out. I mean, 5 touchdown passes, 309 passing yards. Just completely decimated Tennessee's defense today. But Derrick Henry never got going, you know, 61 yards, you know, in today's game. And it was just – it was –
I'm dropping him.
Dropping him immediately. Right, dropped immediately. Down. I think we'll give him a mulligan on today's game. Sure. But, yeah, like Marlissimo said, and, you know, like you had said before, the Titans' defense struggles.
Yeah.
And they're going to continue to struggle if they don't figure it out. Yeah. And I don't know if they have the talent on that side of the ball in order to overcome their shortcomings. It's really it's going to be something to watch for you guys, especially, you know, throughout the season, because you're looking to be a playoff team, Super Bowl contender. Yeah. You know, we're talking about the Titans in the upper echelon of teams, and if that defense can't shore up, and I'm not saying that, you know, throughout the season teams can't gel and figure things out, but it's worrisome. It is week 1, but it is worrisome that you know you took it on a chin like that. Luke, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing is that and you know, we're sitting here talking about the defense and stuff. Is it maybe the offensive line? I mean, I understand Chandler Jones got 5 sacks. Sounds like Arizona's defense was, you know, bringing it. Right. But, you know, is that offensive line weakening him? Because Derrick Henry should be busting, you know what I mean? So maybe Arizona's front line is better than we think, or we're giving it credit for, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, there's a lot to look at, but like we all said, you know, like we've been talking about, you know, it's week 1. You're going to see this with teams, and you know, people are going to, you know, about week 3, week 4, that all the rust is shook off, everybody's ready to go, and then that's when you really start seeing your dominating team starting to gel.
Definitely defensive line, like Bellissimo was saying. You know, they were asking for Akeem Hicks. I think, you know, I'd pull that trigger. Like you need to get younger. Akeem's not getting any younger, and if they need some help, like there it is. If it helps the Bears out,
right, I'm
all for it. But, you know, as far as that Titans-Cardinals game, it was, you know, it's tough to watch for you, Marco, I know. A little bit about the Cardinals, man. They looked on fire. They really did. That offense looked like it picked up some steam from last year. You know, Chase Edmonds had a great game, pass catching and receiving the ball and running the ball. But, you know, Kyler Murray is just kind of the straw that stirs the drink and all of that. And, you know, me and Luke have our own criticism of Kyler Murray just because we feel like at times he goes directly to his legs. You know, instead of trying to make a play, is where a guy like a Russell Wilson, who is often compared to, will make a play, will continue to focus downfield as he's trying to scramble and get out of harm's way.
And he'll learn that.
Yeah, and I hope so, because he's a great talent. And I mean, look what he's doing now with being how young he is. Like he's setting the world on fire as far as stats are. Kyler Murray went 21-30 for 32, 289, 4 touchdowns and 1 pick. Chase Edmonds had 12 carries for 63 yards. Nuke had 6 receptions, 83 yards. Christian Kirk 5 for 70. You know, it was one hell of a day for the Cardinals. On the flip side for the Titans, Ryan Tannehill 21-35, 212, a touchdown and a pick. Derrick Henry held to 58 yards on 17 carries, and you couldn't get anything going on offense. And it was we're watching it, we're sitting here, and I'm like, man, okay, you know, you got to stop. All right, you kind of slow them down, or you got to match. And now as soon as it became a track meet, I think that's where it got away from me. You know. Moving on, going to some other games around the league. I know we got the Cleveland Browns are up 8-0 on the Kansas City Chiefs. New Orleans is up on Green Bay 3-0. Denver and the New York Giants had just started. New England is down 7 to Miami. Chicago is later. Baltimore and Vegas are Monday. Some scores around the league. We got Houston over Jacksonville 37-21. We have the Los Angeles Chargers 20, Washington football team 16. And I want to talk about that one real quick because Luke was watching that one on the side. It was like his second game of the week that he picked up quickly. And, it was actually a very entertaining game towards the end. Ryan Fitzpatrick did take a huge L today. He's out. He had an injury. Tyler Heineke came in relief, and he didn't do too bad. He kept Washington in it. It just wasn't enough. Justin Herbert, 31 of 47, 337 yards, a touchdown and a pick, 57 yards for Eckler on the ground. Tyler Heineke came in, like I said, 11, 15, 122. It just wasn't enough. You got one guy on the other side that's feeling it, and Justin Herbert that could air it out with the best of them. As far as I can see right now.
Yeah.
And then you got a guy like Tyler Heineke who, give him credit, he did as much as he could do in the playoffs, but you're not expecting a Tyler Heineke to go ahead and be a world beater for you week in and week out. You're expecting Ryan Fitzpatrick to maintain, just keep the ship steady while the defense does the work while you use Antonio Gibson. But now you're in a kind of a pickle. And honestly, like I was going to get to, Barely Smell, thank you, because I was talking to our boy Phil, Draft Dr. Phil, who's going to be on the show later on. We were talking about something else, and he also all of a sudden he mentioned Charles Leno Jr. was the guy that got Ryan Fitzpatrick hurt, whiffs on a block. Guess who goes down? Ryan Fitzpatrick. So the Washington football team learned quickly why you don't go ahead and pick up trash off the street. Yeah. All right? That is not what you do. You got your quarterback injured because you tried to go ahead and make a 7th-round pick a superstar for some reason. You tried to make a 7th-round pick a 3rd-round pick, and he's not. He is what he is, and he always will be. So sorry to hear that about Ryan Fitzpatrick, but you know what, to be honest with you, you got what you paid for. So anyway, we're going to go moving on from that game because I know it's kind of a down. I feel bad for the guy, but hey, man, that's on you, Washington. Moving around the league, we had Seattle over Indy, 28-16. And that game that we watched at the end here, Cincinnati and Minnesota, Cincinnati ended up pulling off in overtime 27-24. And, honestly, it got more exciting than I thought because at one point I thought Cincinnati was going to pull away. But then it got a little weird. They started running the football. Yeah. Running the football real early. I mean, like, there was a series where I think it was all Joe Mixon. I mean, passing, the pass catching out of the backfield, running, it was all Joe Mixon.
Top rushing leader, too.
Right, correct. But you know what? Minnesota at the end, I just thought, you push it into overtime, but you had opportunities to go ahead and try for a touchdown. And you just the play calling or the decision making at the quarterback position, I didn't like. But Cincinnati ended up pulling it out anyway, 27-24. A shootout, Luke. I want you to go ahead and talk about this game. You'll watch that a little bit as the bike revs up right next to us. San Francisco ends up pulling it off 41-33 against Detroit. And honestly, we thought Detroit was dead in the water.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was going to be interesting. I mean, like Jared Goff, anytime a guy that's been had a good career in the NFL as Jared Goff, and he goes to a new team, and you think they don't have any receivers. They still got Hawkinson, which had a pretty decent day. It's interesting to see when you see a quarterback like that change teams. But you know what? I think maybe Detroit. I mean, it's a loss, yes, which Detroit is way too familiar with. But I think you saw some things in that game that actually could maybe even spark, maybe even just a little bit of hope in Detroit. At least get kind of out of that cellar position that they're normally in. But like I said, it's Jimmy G. Like we said, we talked in the pregame. It seems like he doesn't want to give up that job.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, I don't know if I want to give Detroit credit for fighting, putting up 33 points, fighting, coming back. Because, like I said, we thought that it was all but done. And actually, let me turn this off before because we got this playing in the background. We thought it was all but done, but they fought back. But the thing is that you can't continue to fight if this is going to be how Detroit plays, where they have to crawl from behind over and over. They're not going to win many games this year. They need to go ahead and get out to a steady lead. I'm not saying go ahead and put 21 points on, but at least 10 points, maybe just the first score, just to get your team going. I think Dan Campbell's mentality. Look, you want to call him a nut. We all seen the interviews. We all go. We all know how he could get, but he's trying to bring an attitude to Detroit that they've never had. You know what I'm saying? They had to try a tough, in-your-face attitude that Detroit. let's say what's been the Detroit Lions' identity? I mean, running the ball with Barry, and then after that, what is
Calvin Johnson?
Calvin Johnson for a little bit.
Stafford Johnson, but neither of them were
Johnson,
there. So.
And then, so it's you have to find out what you want to be if you're going to go ahead and have success in this league. And I think Detroit's trying to do that right now. Goff had actually I have the stats right here. Goff, 38 of 57, 338 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had a pretty decent game. And honestly, shout out to our boy Isaac, because Jamal Williams had 9 carries for 57 yards and a touchdown. He led the way for the Detroit Lions. So Isaac, Jamal Williams' auto pick wasn't that bad for you.
No, yeah, it worked out for him.
Moving on to the 49ers, who actually won the game. Jimmy G, man, we talked about Jimmy G at the beginning. Beginning of the show, the beginning of the day. Was it a bad decision in putting him in over Trey Lance? And I know it's Detroit. Everybody's going to be like, all right, gotta put the brakes on. It's Detroit.
Right.
But I'm like, hey, man, it's the NFL. You got to do it. You got to beat the bad teams, right? And beat the bad teams handily. You didn't beat them handily. Your defense gave up a lot of points there, but Jimmy G did his job. 17 to 25, 314 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. Eli Mitchell for Detroit had 19 carries, 104 yards, and a touchdown. Deebo Samuel led the way, 9 receptions, 189 yards, and a touchdown for the San Francisco 49ers. And we know why Eli Mitchell got the carries is because Raheem Mostert got hurt early in that game for the San Francisco 49ers. But it was an entertaining game, to say the least. Moving on from there, going into these games that we're watching right now. I'm sure some of you guys are watching right now. Where we're kind of taking a peek. My phone's having a brain fart right now, so I can't pick up that Cleveland and maybe I'll go now. That Cleveland and Kansas City game. But you know what? Going into this game, like I talked about for Cleveland and Baker Mayfield, you needed to show something. You needed to show everybody that you can fucking handle a team. You can handle grown men in the huddle. You can handle failure. You know what I'm saying? I think that was the most important thing in my eyes, for Baker Mayfield. How can he handle failure and bounce back? What do you guys think?
Go ahead.
I mean, it's with Baker Mayfield. I mean, one of the biggest questions with him during his time in Cleveland is can he answer the call? And I think he did a great job with Cleveland last year. So they didn't have a bad year. I mean, obviously with their playoff exit, I think it left on a positive note, being who they are, the Cleveland Browns. And I think this year for Cleveland, as a team, it's like you said, it's Baker Mayfield. How do you handle what you call disappointment? Obviously, of not going all the way. How are you going to bounce back? What are you going to bring to the table this season? Are you going to finally put the receiving core up to apart and assemble something special for Cleveland?
Yeah, I mean, Cleveland and Baker. I think Baker's going to be just fine. I mean, the plus side for Cleveland today, Odell Beckham's out. They actually had a better passing percentage and receptions and yards without Odell in the lineup, which is hard to say sometimes, but facts are facts, stats are stats. They still got, like I said, they still have the two-headed. They got, probably the best. I don't know. I'd put them up there at the top with the 2 tandem backs they have, with Chubb and Hunt. And like I said, I think they're and I'll tell you what I think Cleveland's new biggest asset is that head coach. I think that. I think
Stefanski?
Yeah, I think
Stefanski's impressive.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see that. Come this season. I think he was there last year, right? Mm-hmm. So they've got a year underneath their belt, and I think he's going to have those guys ready. People understand the system now. They've had a year to play in it, and I think Cleveland's they're going to be good. I mean, they're going to be good. I think they're going to take this game from Kansas City as well.
Yeah, well, we'll see. They're up 8-3 right now. Baker Mayfield 5 of 7, 51 yards. Nick Chubb, 5 carries, 17 yards, and a touchdown. Austin Hooper leads the way, 3 receptions, 27 yards. With the Chiefs, a field goal for the Chiefs, just as I say it, I'm like, a field goal? Whoa, we're settling here? What's going on? We also that Cleveland Browns defense, I'm sure they're hungry. I'm sure they want to go ahead and prove themselves to match the offense's potential.
And also, like we talked about earlier, Kansas City hasn't won a first-week game since, 2004?
Yes.
So that right there to tell you something. But I mean, like I said, it's Kansas City. We know how good Kansas City can be. So this game's still a long way from over. So we'll see what happens.
Green Bay, as Barlissimo so kindly put up for us, down 10-0. to the Saints. So you know what? Game of the week for Marco might be a game of the week for us if we can pull off something here tonight. You know what I mean? Like hands. You watch, help us out. But like I'm just saying, New Orleans, help a brother out. But like the Green Bay Packers, I'm sure are going to go ahead and make some type of surge here. I'm not gonna expect a blowout from the Saints, even though Jameis is 5 of 8 for 39 yards and a touchdown. Jameis also leads the way rushing, 3 carries for 37 yards. So
wow.
J-Mo is
he's been hanging out with Sully's been hanging out with the other guy. What's the other quarterback that runs all the time for the Saints?
Oh, Taysom Hill.
Taysom must have been hanging out.
Must have been working out.
37 yards.
Honestly, he looks slimmer.
Yeah, of course.
He looks slimmer. I'm sure he's been working out and preparing himself for this second chance at being the starter with the Saints, because you saw you saw firsthand how
way too much.
He had too much weight on him. The guy couldn't see, first of all. He had too much weight on him, and now you can see, and he's dropped some weight. He's looking a little better. Hopefully he can hold on. Hopefully the Saints can go ahead and put some more points on and hold on and beat the Green Bay Packers for us while they start the season. But man, moving on, we're gonna go ahead and get to our predictions for the season. I know we had cut it out short, because we've got a whole bunch of stuff going on, a lot of football, a lot of movement, a lot of things going on. But we're gonna go ahead and get to our season predictions. And Marco, I'm gonna have you start first since you're the new guy. Go ahead and let us know. We're gonna start with the NFC. Yeah, we're gonna start first with the NFC and your picks for the division winners.
So for the 2021 season, the NFC East, I'm predicting the Washington football team to take that division. I think that defense is just phenomenal, and I think they definitely put up a fight in the NFC East. Absolutely. The NFC North, I'm predicting the Green Bay Packers to take that division. I think Aaron Rodgers, wants to go out on a special mode. He wants to show who he is, and this might be the last dance, for him in Green Bay. And so why not, go out in style. The NFC South, I think Tampa Bay takes it easy. There's no doubt about that one. Tampa Bay is on, they want to repeat, and they're going to take the division to start that off. The NFC West, Los Angeles Rams, just way too powerful team in that division. They easily take it.
The AFC?
The AFC East, I'm predicting the Buffalo Bills to take it. I think they're the most impressive team in the division. Obviously, obviously some changes with the other teams in the division. I feel like it was a more, sturdy team to take the division. The AFC North, I'm predicting the Browns. I think Cleveland has something special going on right now, and I see them being a more positive team. The AFC South, I'm predicting the Tennessee Titans. With some changes in the division, I think Tennessee definitely, makes a name for themselves and go back to that division titles, I think. And then the AFC West, the Kansas City Chiefs.
And then we're going to go ahead and go to your wild card picks. What are your 3 wild card picks for this year's playoffs?
So my 3 NFC wild card teams, I'm going with the Chicago Bears, the Arizona Cardinals, and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay. Philly looked great. We skipped over Philadelphia, as everybody should. But Philly, the Eagles looked great today, but they pretty much stonewalled the Atlanta Falcons. 6 points, held them to 6 points while they put up 29 themselves. I mean, Philly's a good pick. That's a more surprising wild card pick.
And then AFC wild card, I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens, Indianapolis Colts, and the Las Vegas Raiders.
And then we're going to go ahead and get your Super Bowl matchup.
My Super Bowl matchup is going to be, really think hard on this one, but I'm predicting the Los Angeles Rams and the Buffalo Bills.
Rams, Bills?
And I'm taking the Buffalo Bills to take the ship this year.
Yeah. The Rams, Bills, and then Buffalo Bills winning it all for Marco on the season. Luke, let's get to you. Season picks.
All right, so starting the NFC with the NFC West, I'm gonna give that to Seattle. Just like what Russell Wilson does, I like DK Metcalf. I like Lockett. The Rams. We've seen some injuries with the Rams, so we'll see if that. I mean, it was a toss-up really, but I went with Seattle. I do have the Rams in the wild card, but that's for the NFC West. NFC South, obviously, I'm going with the Bucs. I don't think there's anything that's really going to – I don't see any of those teams in the division, obviously, with Atlanta looking the way Atlanta looked today. The Saints and, Carolina, you always got McCaffrey and, you got a couple receivers over there. And Darnold's their second year. So, I mean, I wouldn't even be shocked to see the Panthers come in second in that division. But I'm going to take the Bucs in the South. The East, I'm going to go with the Giants. I don't know what it is. We talked earlier during the pregame, and there's just something I feel about the Giants this year that you're not going to be an 11-4 or anything like that. I think it's going to be like a 9-7, 10-6 type season for them.
Typical type of NFC East.
Right. Better than the last one. Because what was the last one? We thought someone was going to get in with
6 wins.
For a while it was like, what's going on here?
What's going to go on? You're going to have first of all, you're going to have a losing record in the playoffs.
Right.
Then you're going to go ahead and have this type of losing record in the playoffs.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Giants in the East. I'll move over to the NFC North. I'm going to take the Packers. That's it's Aaron, like I said, it's kind of just to piggyback on what Marco said. Like, I feel like Aaron Rodgers kind of wants to stick it to Green Bay and just be like, this is how good I am, and this is what I now I'm going to take my talent somewhere else. I'm going to come back and beat you. You know what I mean? So I feel like he has that little extra motivation, chip on his shoulder type of thing. So I picked them, but I'll go AFC West and at the new Kansas City. I think takes it hands down, barring any catastrophic injuries to one of their big three. AFC South, I'm going to actually take the Colts, and just because I like the Colts defense. It's to be determined what the Carson Wentz era is going to look like, but as long as that defense can keep them in the game, the close games, I think they pull it out. AFC East, Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. We saw Singletary actually being able to run the ball and do some things today. Stephon Diggs, good day. Like I said, he's the horse everyone's riding this year. It's Josh Allen. So we'll see. Then my AFC North is going to be the Steelers.
They got off to a good start.
Yeah, no, like I said, you got to think back. It was the last season or season before they went 11-0 before they, They crumbled at the end, but they went 11-0. So and they've got a better defense now.
Right, and you're expecting that running game to be better. You're expecting Ben looks healthy. They need to hit Deontay Johnson a lot more. For me, you need to hit Deontay Johnson.
Chase Claypool wouldn't hurt either.
You need to hit Deontay Johnson. But it's a great start for them. Like I'm on the fence about the Steelers. I feel like they could be a great team, and then again, I could see them having a second half like they did, last week.
Yeah, it's definitely to be determined. We'll see.
AFC
wild card. I'm gonna go. Oh, I'm sorry. With the wild card team, I'm gonna go with the Browns, the Titans, and the Ravens. And then on the NFC side, I'm gonna go with Washington, Arizona, and the Rams. And the reason I'm going to get some dirty looks, I'm sure, the Bears are not taking the division or in my playoff teams because I simply do not trust Matt Nagy. I don't trust his handling of the quarterback situations. And then, we talked about this earlier as well, Marco, with the side-to-side plays. You're on the floor, I love to run a jet sweep. You know what I mean? Like, those things, I think those things, the defense is great. Like, I don't think the defense, but I almost feel like Nagy's going to have that moment where he's like, okay, I don't want to pull or what I did last year. So he may delay getting Justin Fields in there, or maybe he doesn't even play Justin. We don't know. That's what I don't like about Nagy. Is you don't know what he's going to do. To me, that it kind of scares me a little bit.
You don't want to. Obviously, predictability is not great, but for Nagy, you want to know that you want to feel secure.
Yeah,
and you just don't feel secure.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right, man. That's just. Just from watching him over the past couple of years, it's just, I don't know, man. But, like I said, I could be wrong. Bears have a good defense, so, they can keep them in.
Super Bowl matchup.
Super Bowl, I'm going Bucs and Steelers, and I'm going to take the Bucs to repeat.
Bucs to repeat? That's honestly.
And the Steelers, obviously, is defense, too.
Right. I would get on you for being a homer, but honestly, having all 22 come back, it's never been done. They obviously are really, really good.
Yeah.
We saw that Thursday night.
Yeah.
They have the greatest quarterback of all time, greatest player of all time, in some eyes. But yeah, I'd say those are solid. I like both picks. I like both Super Bowl picks: Rams, Bills, and Bucs, Steelers. Those sound good to me. We're going to get to my season picks for this season, and starting with the NFC West, I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Rams. I think Matthew Stafford puts them over the top. I feel like he needed this as much as the Rams needed him. He needed to get out of Detroit. The Rams needed somebody that they could trust. other than Jared Goff. And honestly, I think it's going to work out well for them. I see them winning the division. I feel they're going to have to hold off the Seahawks, but I feel them winning the division maybe by a game. Maybe that might be that close. In the NFC South, I have the Bucs, obviously, obvious reasons. NFC East, I have the Cowboys. And I'll tell you why. We saw how tightly they played the Bucs.
Mm-hmm.
That game was not 47, whatever they finished. It was much closer, like I said, a push off or non-push off away from maybe making it, maybe really keeping the Bucs at bay. And honestly, I feel like Dak Prescott comes into the season possessed. Like we saw him on Thursday. He looked like a madman. He is shy to run.
Yeah.
We saw a little bit, ginger. Well, usually he was a little scared to run, reluctant, I would say. But you're expecting him to throw 500 yards a game.
Right.
And I expect that defense to be a lot better too. I feel like they need to. They have potential.
Mm-hmm.
But they need to figure out that secondary. Obviously, has been one of the Achilles heels for the Dallas Cowboys for a couple decades, a decade. Over that, maybe, you know what I mean? Like they can't.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That combination of defensive backs to really help them out back there. They kind of gotta get lit up. They get lit up. Let's be real. But I'm going with Dallas there, and then in the NFC North, I know everybody's gonna hate me for this, but it's gonna be the Green Bay Packers. I would say the Bears, but I think the Bears will finish second. But I don't see them having enough to beat Green Bay twice. Once, for that matter. Beating Green Bay once. I don't think they have. They got the defense. The offense is questionable. And now I don't think they have the coaching. I don't think they have that leadership still. I question it. Like there's times where Matt Nagy will admit things like off the cuff, like just out of the blue, he said something like, "Oh wow, he actually said something to us this time."
Right.
And then there's times where it's like, "Man, dude, you haven't learned shit. Like you're gonna give me the same tight end jet sweep when we got 3rd and 5. You're gonna give me some other gimmicky bullshit because you feel like you want to catch motherfuckers off guard. You love when it's like, hey man, how'd you dial that one up?
Yeah, I did that.
They've been talking about you the entire fucking week about your play calling instead of the fucking guy who ran for 130 yards and a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. I got the Green Bay Packers winning solely because of Aaron Rodgers. So just because of Aaron Rodgers, and honestly, as long as he stays healthy, they're in to me. Going over to the AFC West, Kansas City Chiefs, I think they're just too strong for anybody in that division, including the Chargers, who some think might give them a little run. The AFC South, they have the Titans. I think the Titans are strong enough, although I feel like the Colts, again, it's going to be a tight one. I feel like the Colts might be right there, one or two games away. You know what I mean? You're going to have to focus on beating them. Not anybody, because I feel like they're your biggest threat to win the division. Yeah. So focus on, if I were to Tennessee Titans, win your games, but make sure you beat the Colts if you're going to go put yourself in the playoffs. And then going ahead to the AFC East, I got the Bills, followed up by the AFC North with the Cleveland Browns. My wild card picks for the NFC, the Chicago Bears. I feel like they scrape by, man, some way, somehow. I feel like they really do. I feel like they're depending on how everything goes, depending on health, I could see them being an 8-9 team or a 9-8 team, maybe a 10-7 team.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and 10-7 is being generous. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I really want to say they're going to be dead even, but you can't do that no regular. So either 8-9 or 9-8. One game difference. I do think they squeak in because even though we have we talked about the NFC East. Somebody's going to win that division at 8-9. You know what I mean? Like somebody's going to win that division at about that. And, if you got a head-to-head with somebody like the Cowboys, for instance, where the Bears play, you might be that team sneaking in. When all is said and done. I don't think anybody else could really. If you think about the Saints, and I don't know about the Saints. I don't know about Jameis. You think about the Giants and teams like that, and they have potential, you're just not sold on them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I chose the Bears over others. Cardinals and Seahawks are my next two. I think the next two come out of the NFC West. 3 teams from the NFC West. It's the toughest division in football, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You got 3 teams and a fourth, coming. It feels like the NFC West should have more than just one representative in it. So I give them 3. So that's my wild card: Bears, Cardinals, Seahawks. With the AFC wild card, Steelers, Colts, and the New England Patriots. And you know what? To be honest with you, it's Mac Jones, it's Bill Belichick, it's that defense who's getting 8 players back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That team is getting 8 players back from sitting out from COVID last year. Bill Belichick is a defensive-minded coach. He's going to have that defense ready to go. You have a quarterback who, by all accounts, seems to understand what Bill's preaching. Who's going to do what he wants. Who's going to, at this point in his career, follow the game plan, right? You got a plethora of running backs that can do multiple different things. You have a decent type of receiving core who could surprise you. You know what I mean? Who could surprise you? I feel like New England can win 10 to 11 games. I with that defense and who they have as it's their leadership. You know what I mean? We always want to point to the players, but hell, man, sometimes the coaching can win you a game, man. Coaching can win you multiple games, man. Good coaching wins you games, bro.
Yeah.
So it's not always the talent on the field. You have to be able to utilize that talent from your position in the booth or on the sidelines. And I feel like the New England Patriots are going to do that. I think they're going to do just that. They're going to fight and claw and get into the playoffs.
They're going to beat the Dolphins twice this year?
See,
it's always their kryptonite.
It's up for debate right now, actually. It's a story. We have a score over here. Get this Lexus thing out of here. 7-3 Miami so far. So, Patriots do have the ball. 9-11 left in the second quarter. But yeah, New England, man, I think Belichick he's going to have them ready to go. He's going to have them wanting it, because I feel like there's a little bit of an embarrassment, a little bit of a stain on Bill Belichick's face. On Bill Belichick's cutoff hoodie. Right? There's a stain on his hoodie, and he wants to get that off. And I feel like he has a team to do it. Going to my Super Bowl matchup, I got the Buffalo Bills, but I have the Green Bay Packers. I got the Green Bay Packers. I'm looking at them to go all out this year, man. They remind me of the 2000s Eagles, right? Donovan struggling to get in. Finally gets in with T.R. We know that the story of Brian Westbrook. Pixton. I feel like they finally do it. They finally get over the hump. They finally get to the Super Bowl. Do they win? Hell no, because the Buffalo Bills are going to be the Super Bowl champions this year. I like Buffalo, man. I like Buffalo. They obviously had a tough loss today. They had their chances. They had opportunities, but it is tough. You're playing a tough defense, number 1 defense in the league last year.
Yeah, they're tough, man.
Overall, it's tough. Now, you always want to get a win at home.
Yeah.
You start off this year. You always want to start off well. But I think this Buffalo Bills team knows that there's bigger fish to fry than just week 1 of the season. And I think they'll bounce back. I think they're going to be able to hang on in that AFC East, which I think is going to be tough. I think the AFC East is getting to that point where it's going to be that bad boy division in the AFC. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the Buffalo Bills are going to refocus. I feel like that defense is going to gel. They can gel, and I feel like that offense is going to be on fire the rest of the season. I don't see why not. Why not the Bills? Why not the Bills at this point for me? So that's going to wrap things up, guys. And for our Super Bowl picks, we got more show coming for you, coming to you guys a little later. I know Sean's on his way, Maya's on her way. It's getting a little cool. We got a little breeze. I was sweating there for a minute.
No, you're kidding.
I know we got the fan. We forgot to hook it up, but I got it right here, so we got to hook that up later. But yeah, man, I think majority, for the most part, our picks are pretty sound. I don't think that we went a little off the cusp. I mean, maybe the Pats.
Well, I mean,
Maybe the Steelers,
mine. See, mine with the my biggest thing that I did pick the Giants. I'm standing by it, but I'm gonna put an asterisk next to that, and I'll tell you why. It's because Dallas doesn't play a playoff team until week 11, and if they can mow through some of these lower ranked teams and stack up a quick 9 or 7, you know what I mean, and then get their back half of the schedule and still pull out another 3 or 4, man, Dallas is going to be sitting pretty. But like I said, that strength of schedule is what I'm going to give to let Dallas make it. If it's not the Giants, it probably will be Dallas. But like I said, without having to play a playoff team or a tough, really, I mean, all games are tough. It's the NFL. We know that. But, I mean, when you look at it stat-wise on paper, whatever, you look and say, okay, Dallas has not a cakewalk, but an easier schedule, let's say. You know what I mean? So that would be the only thing that I would really change it if I had to change it. But I'm going to stick with the Giants. I don't know why. But I just have a feeling this year. So I don't know why. I guess maybe Saquon's back, or they got Kenny Galladay, or whatever it may be. But I just feel like something's going to click with the Giants, and the Giants are going to pull it out.
Well, it might be. I like how they're building. It's funny when they hit Kelvin Benjamin. Kelvin Benjamin was talking shit about Joe Judge, and I was like, Calvin, you're the fucking last person to be talking shit. Eating those cheeseburgers.
Right.
Man, you're talking about those cheeseburgers, man. Like you are not one of those. You came in as a receiver. Yeah. You left as an offensive tackle. Like that's how big you are. So it's like don't talk shit. When you have to go ahead and handle your own business. But I feel like the Giants are fine. I feel like Joe Judge is doing a decent job. We'll see. They have, like I said, they have to play the games. This is week 1.
Right.
We're all just speculating at this point, but we like that speculation. All right, guys, we're going to wrap things up for right now. We're going to get back to you at the – well, you know what? We're going to go ahead and hang out for a second. Let's hang out for a second. We got the Browns and the – okay, KC just scored right now. It's 15-10. Cleveland in Kansas City. And let me get these stats up so I can tell you. Let's see, Baker Mayfield, 8 of 10, 115 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Nick Chubb, still the same stats. And you have Pat Mahomes, 13 of 15, 132 yards, no touchdowns, but a rushing touchdown for Pat Mahomes. And yes, the Saints are up still 10-0, and they're in the red zone. Not going to ignore the Green Bay Packers. I'm telling you, I'll be happy if the Bears can pull some miracle off tonight.
That's going to be interesting.
What a start. What a start to the year. Look, I don't care to be dead wrong in my playoff prediction right now. Like, who gives a crap? If it's not my team, if my team gets there, I don't give a crap.
I mean, we could literally tomorrow be talking about nobody in the NFC North won a game.
You could be.
Which would be interesting, but I mean, that still keeps everybody at 0, so it's going to be interesting to see can an NFC North team win a game today. I mean, that's gonna be the thing to watch.
It will be. And they just scored Saints right now, 17-0 over Green Bay. Man, it's a rough one. Jameis. J-Mo, crab legs.
Just wait. It's still early in the game. Just wait.
Dude, that LASIK has worked wonders for him. Like people have been talking about it ever since he had LASIK. It's just things are better.
Yeah.
Everything's sharper. So maybe there's something to it. Also, I think him transitioning his body is a positive for him.
And maybe being there with Breeze.
Was that?
Maybe being there with Breeze as well. Breeze could have sat this kid down and been like, look, dude, you're doing this all wrong. Like, you need to, you sit there, you watch him, you're in the quarterback room with him. There's something to be learned from a guy like Drew Brees. You know what I mean? So maybe he paid attention.
Maybe he did. Giants up 7-3 over Denver. 2:25 left in that one. In that half, Miami is still up with the ball over New England. 7:41 in that game, and a minute left in that Green Bay New Orleans game with 6:30 left in Cleveland, Kansas City. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be back to you. We're not gonna go anywhere. We're not gonna leave you, but we are gonna take a quick break. We'll be back on the all day football show. Like I said, Sean and Meyer on their way. We'll be here for a while. Marco's going to be leaving us soon. Yep. Well, you have important things.
Yes.
It's you're a good son. I'm just saying that. You're a good son. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap things up for here at the All Day Football Show. Like I said, we're at 1758 West Grand at All Output Lounge. We're going to be here all day. Come watch the Bears. Come have some drinks. We have some wings, food. It's going to be fun. It's been fun. It's been a blast for us. I think we've
good food too.
We're just hanging out and chilling in the shade all day long. So. What can you complain about, really? Talking football.
On 3 different
football on 3 different screens. You know what I'm saying? What can we complain about? But anyway, guys, until the end of these games, we'll see you next. We'll see you later.
Captain Insano shows no mercy. No mercy. No mercy. No mercy. No mercy.
Straight cash, homie.